Local authorities are investigating a single-engine plane crash in Lake County that killed a pilot this morning. Thanks for joining us for Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Samantha Cadera.
And I'm Oscar Rodriguez. The Lake County Sheriff's Office says federal investigators are now working to determine the cause of the crash. The Sheriff's Office says they received a distress signal around 9:20 this morning. The plane was later located near Pole Butte and the town of Silver Lake. The plane's sole occupant was declared dead at the scene, but a dog that was also on board survived. The pilot's identity has not been released pending next of kin notification. Now the National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA are investigating alongside local agencies.
And as we begin to see wind, rain, and even some snow across our region, we're tracking possible impacts to both roads and power. Right now, we're taking a live look out at Mount Shasta, where we expect to see a lot of that precipitation. So let's go ahead and turn it over to Storm Alert Weather 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress. Can we expect any of this to get any better?
It's going to be a little bit of time before we do see any of these improvements because it really is just getting started. Here's a look out at radar. It is a bit quiet as we're getting ready to see that next part of this system move in, but some light precipitation, mainly areas over to the west and into Siskiyou County. But taking a look out at the bigger picture, we're going to see a lot of this rain work its way in across the region tonight, and especially for Siskiyou County and the Mount Shasta area, where we do have some big concerns. But across the region tonight, I would say the biggest impact are going to be those wind gusts, and we're starting to see them pick up right now. Sustained winds at about 8 miles per hour into Klamath Falls, 8 over into Weed, and also 14 miles per hour for those wind gusts into Weed, Klamath Falls. We just recently saw them at about 45 miles per hour. Things are going to continue to peak as we switch into the overnight hours. With that being said, we could see those gusts anywhere across the region up to about 50 to 75 miles per hour. And with that being said, we'll have to keep a close eye on power outage risks, down trees, and of course that mixed with rainfall isn't going to be rather fun to drive in, and this is going to last through into tomorrow afternoon, which could impact some of our holiday travel for your Christmas Eve. Temperatures currently, it is feeling rather chilly into our west side valleys. We're sitting at 39 for Grants Pass, Medford at 41, east side we're at 45 for Klamath Falls, 40 over into Montague along the coast, 47 for Brookings. Overnight tonight, it still will be rather chilly, especially for your west side valleys, but not dropping as cool over to the east. But in general, most of us will be sitting in the 30s, lower 40s for the coast. And tomorrow, temperatures will be a little bit warmer. We're going to continue on with those showers, a brief break into southern Oregon from that rain into your afternoon before it picks up again as we switch over into your Wednesday night. But it is going to be coming down nonstop as we're over into Siskiyou County. Now here's a closer look at what we can expect when it does come to that rainfall. Notice that Siskiyou County is going to be getting most of that, and that is southern Siskiyou County area, but we could see anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches along the coast overnight tonight through tomorrow, and then we're expected to accumulate more as we switch over into your Thursday. So I'll let you know what all of this means. Also, a few of us are concerned about that winter weather travel, so I'll talk more about those details, and of course take a look at your wind and winter alerts all coming up in your next forecast.
In a crime alert tonight, a Klamath County man has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for encouraging both child and animal sex abuse. 26-year-old Jonathan Dever pleaded not guilty to 6 counts of encouraging child sex abuse and 4 counts of encouraging animal sex abuse. He changed his plea to guilty in October for 7 of those charges. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison, followed by 3 years of post-prison supervision. And Klamath County Sheriff's Office is investigating a crash that killed a 76-year-old man who was attempting to cross the street in an electric wheelchair.
Newswatch 12's Daryl Green spoke with the man's wife, who remembers him as the greatest man she's ever met.
We're fought. We've been together 40 years, and we were just...
Joan and Charles Miller were an inseparable pair. Last Wednesday started like any other weekday. Joan prepared for the holidays as Charles went to a nearby Walmart.
That gave me time to wrap his gifts. It was just a normal day. When we woke up and it was just good morning, a kiss good morning.
Shortly after Charles left, Joan was notified by her landlord that there was an accident at that very Walmart. The two quickly went to the scene, and once they arrived,
We turned and I told Cynthia that's his chair.
Miller says she and Cynthia went to the hospital after investigators told her Charles was being transported. When they arrived, they learned Charles had been fatally struck by a driver while in his electric wheelchair. Jones says the community has rallied around her during this difficult time.
It makes my heart feel really good that he had so many people that cared. You know, now they're showing that they care for me too, even though they didn't know me.
Joan remembers her husband. She describes a man who never hesitated to help others.
He had a heart so big that if you needed help, he was there if he could help. And I think that's what I fell in love about him.
A love built over 4 decades, now carried on by the people whose hearts he touched. Reporting in Klamath Falls, I'm Daryl Green.
Started. I need to make a public.
Good morning, everybody. The time is 10 a.m. and today is the 23rd of December, 2025. Staff, can you do the roll call, please?
Commissioner Smith?
I'm not going to participate in this meeting as there's been litigation filed against me and against the county. Thank you. I can't do it because I'm not going to put the county in harm. Thank you. Have a good day.
We're learning about new litigation against Josephine County Commissioner Ron Smith as he continues to refuse participation in appointing a new commissioner. Now, what you just saw was the abrupt end to this morning's appointment for a new commissioner during roll call, following Smith's attempt to make a statement prior to the meeting. After Smith exited, the meeting was adjourned, but Commissioner Chris Barnett asked legal counsel about the litigation.
But I have it in front of me, and there's a case number. And so I think we're now in the less is more in terms of what we say about this topic as of right now.
Newswatch 12 found the writ of mandamus, which calls for Commissioner Smith to complete his duties in filling the board's vacancy. The mandamus is not a lawsuit, but does ask for clarification from a judge on if Smith is acting in accordance with the Josephine County Charter.
And a local nonprofit organization in the Rogue Valley is looking to hire its first executive director position in hopes to lead its downtown revitalization. I went to Grants Pass today to see how its Main Street organization is looking for the perfect hire.
Having somebody that's dedicated to downtown Grants Pass and really pushing the vision and mission forward would be super important moving forward.
The Main Street Grants Pass organization secured funding from the city and a private donor to hire its first executive director position. The role is set to help revitalize the downtown area. The president of Main Street Grants Pass says the position will help the board as they're looking for someone who's dedicated to the downtown area.
A big part of the job in the beginning is just going to be boots on the ground, meeting with property owners, meeting with the merchants downtown, the restaurant owners, and just really, getting buy-in on the program and filling them in on what's going on.
The application has been up for less than a week, with 10 of 15 applications received so far. As the city of Grants Pass is still searching for the right hire, downtown is already thriving, with over 60 new business licenses issued this year. Just like the Lonely Pine, who have been barely open in the last 6 months.
It's been really busy and really fun. Well, he's definitely learned a lot, I feel like, in the last 6 months.
I think it's been even better than expected. We didn't really know what we were getting into. Yeah, it's been consistently busy, so it's fun.
Born and raised in Grants Pass, sibling owners Quentin and Penelope Buck says the city has given them great support since opening.
Everyone has been so supportive since we've started this. It's really blown me away.
As well, both wanted to have a business in the city that brings so much nostalgia.
We want to see Grants Pass flourish and become a place like where the younger crowd have somewhere to go and something to do. So we just want to make it a fun environment.
Both say the executive director position will be good for Main Street as it will help grow the downtown area.
I think introducing new businesses and more people is what we need. We got to grow.
A new LGBTQ+ bar is preparing to open its doors to the community in Medford for the new year, something the community has been long awaiting.
And Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz spoke with those making the bar happen about why they picked Medford and why is it important for the whole community.
It's more important than ever to have a space where they feel welcome and comfortable and valued.
Just behind these doors is Prism Medford, Medford's first LGBTQ+ bar, opening in the early months of 2026. I had a chance to go inside and see the construction and speak with Daniel, who's helping make this bar happen. He said that he's hoping that this bar will bring together communities in more ways than one.
The hope is really to create a space for all members of that community and our community to come together, to feel safe, to feel included and encourage a space that doesn't just tolerate us, but you know, actually is for us.
For Daniel, the dream of opening an all-inclusive bar started years ago.
When I was an SOU undergrad, there was a really small gay bar in Ashland called Abajo. It was the first gay bar I ever went to.
And after Abajo closed, nothing in Ashland or throughout the Rogue Valley took its place.
There was never any true gay bar or queer bar in Southern Oregon at all. The dream to open a club has always kind of existed, and to have a space for the LGBTQ community.
Daniel and 19 others came together as a collective, putting their heads together and ultimately choosing Medford.
People in our own community say, well, sure, we should have a gay bar, we should have a queer bar, but it should be in Ashland. As if somehow LGBTQ people only exist in Ashland, right? Medford is the thing that makes the most sense.
Since announcing the construction plans for Prism, Daniel says the community has rallied around the idea.
Going into a venture like this, you don't assume like everyone's going to be super excited about the idea. But the response was probably 98% positive, right?
Although construction is still in the works, Daniel and his team are excited and hopeful about kicking off the year with the new space for the community. Reporting in Medford, I'm Grace Ritz.